And it'll be a hard-earned victory because after 56 games, we had 5 finalists. Now we're down to only 2. Winning the semifinal match 204 to 2, 193 to 170. Sullins. That the score was his match against Bob Vespi, whom we get a look at now. Nice young man, 5'11", 170, 23 years old. Did not bowl in the AC Delco Classic, Bo.
Well, it's really his first experience as a full-time national tour member, and very confident. He charged last night. Let's see what he can do in the one-game match for all the money.
Come on!
From Plantation, Florida, which is just west of Fort Lauderdale.
Bob Vespi, look at that cupped wrist. His thumb's only halfway in the ball. He brings it to the top of the swing. Then he bends that elbow to even get farther underneath it, just like palming a bowling ball, Chris. Then he sends it real wide, very confidently. Look at this grip. Fingers all the way in, thumb just barely in, cupped all the way back in his wrist. Remember Jimmy Keith, the first real power player that did that? Well, this fella's got it under control. Another Florida player.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yes, baby.
He is wearing a wireless microphone.
He bowled Harry Sullins in the 56th and final game and defeated him last night for the tournament lead, and he was very vocal about it, and it looked like it kind of intimidated Sullins. Let's see what happens here in the early going. A very confident Bob Vespi out with 2 strikes.
And this stay even, and the strike here on the right lane. All right, there's the answer. Harry Sullins, Bob Vespi.
You see how Harry Sullins is playing the championship pair, very much like Bob Vespi. They're going to stand way to the left side of the approach. They'll be sliding on the left side. You think they're making a 10-pin, then starting it out in this area, approach here, ball speed here, out to the very edge, letting it snap back. A great strike ball, but when you miss, look out. Both players perfect through 2.
High hit. In disgust, Harry Sullins walks away, having left to 3, 6, 8, 10.
About the toughest spare that the pros can shoot. They hate to shoot this spare because you can chop the 3-9 off the 6-10. You got to send it wide to the right-hand channel. Here's how you should make it. Get the ball out wide, let it break through the 3-6, carry out the 9 and 10 pins. Let's see what Sullins does right here in the 3rd.
El channel.
Well, when you're throwing that big a hook, Chris, if you give it enough room to convert the spare, it's got to go in the channel. If he doesn't give it that much room, it's going to hook by the head pin. Believe it or not, Vespi did that exact same thing in the 2nd frame of the 56th and final game last night and has recovered with a bunch of strikes. But that's inexcusable. You've got to change your shot a little bit. He has opened the door for this young man. 3rd frame.
In lead by 32.
Come on, baby.
This time, baby's a problem.
You betcha. 2-8-10.
Oh, my goodness. What do you do here?
Well, you just got to shoot at the 2-8 right here, Chris, and just hope something that bounces out into the 10. Get the pin count. Remember, on the double, Sullins missed them all and has only got 48 in the 3rd. If he can get 2 of them, he'll still have a nice lead, less than a half a mark.
All right. So now 2 open frames, 1 by each. Bob Vespi shared with us his path to the PBA Tour.
Well, I started in junior leagues. It was AJBC then, now it's YABA. I bowled a couple years there. And then I joined the ABC men's leagues. And last year I joined the PBA and bowled all year in the regionals. And I had quite a bit of success, and I attained a sponsor. And I'm going to go out this year and hopefully I win a day and I'll do a good job myself.
Okay. After the open, Bob Vespi with a booming strike. A baby, he calls it. All right, we'll be back after this. Minutes while we were away, Harry Sullins doubled, making this match a beaut. Now Bob Vespi looking for that double.
Trouble.
Which rhymes with double, and not so.
Well, we've seen one wild shot by Mark Bowers in the earlier match, and once again the big hook ball gets away from Bob Vespi, yet he only trails by 5 pins if he can make this spare.
Second in the National Resident Pro Championship in Corpus Christi last year, earning $29,000, looking for his first win though, and look at that score sheet.
Boy, you got a great break there, Chris. Now let's see how Vespi's playing line. He throws a tremendous hook. He's way over here. He's going to slide here. He's going to get the ball in this area. Watch this line.
Oh! Come on, Bob.
More big trouble. What a big player, crank player, has to do like that is send the ball right out to the channel every time. Take your chances. Chris Warren had the right idea. Vespi has to get the ball over here, slide the 4 into the 10, a very difficult shot, and he can't make it with the big hook ball. He's got to throw it hard and straight. I don't know what that was. Where was he aiming?
I don't know.
That's a practice shot for a strike ball on the right lane. Wow, this match is out of control. Harry Sullins has to say, my goodness, if I can't take advantage of this, I'll never win a 4th title.
With a double up. There he is.
Leads by 19, can make it 29. Golden opportunity, 6 frame.
And he left the 310. Man who last year was 3rd in the Brunswick Memorial, 5th at the AC Delco, 3rd at the Flagship City Open.
Well, the losers in these matches that we've seen, the 310 converted a couple of times and missed a couple of times today. Get the ball over by the 3-pin. Let the ball bounce into the 10. We've seen this shot. The losers have averaged 165. That may be enough to win this game if it continues to go like this.
Beautifully done. The winner of this game will receive $35,000. The runner-up, 18.
2 years ago, for our 8 games on the championship player, the players averaged 195. Last year, 205. Combination, obviously, 200 for the past 16 games on the championship pair. But you add in this week's average, which is the losing score around 165, it's going to drop below 200. Very demanding.
7th frame, Harry Sullins leading by 17. Spare working. And 8.
Well, good hit. Cuts right through the heart. Doesn't get the break. Harry Sullins, who is taking quite a bit of time, and really is, as you see, his record kind of justified. He has to figure out what he wants to do. He has only 25 seconds with which to get the shot away. He's been using about 20, but right now he has the lead by 16.
Well, here's a chance for us to send our very, very best wishes for a speedy recovery to our touring professional scorekeeper buddy, Butch Soper, remaining in the Los Angeles hospital recuperating from surgery.
All his pals out on the tour wish him well. Vespi not liking this. Once again, the 2-8-10. They see how Vespi cocks everything in the bowling ball. Gets his hand, now that's just torn up. 56 games, 7 straight days,
wow.
All that power, but many players have that problem. Remember the great Mark Roth was like that. That's the penalty you pay for cranking it up.
2-8-10. Bob stopped talking to the ball.
Set a shorter board, it's off the lane.
He's just all over the lane. He's a big strike player, Chris, and unfortunately it's a little bit like the John Daly's of the golf tour. If the big driver isn't working or he starts knocking it out of bounds, there's nowhere to go. He knows no other way except Mindy, his wife, is looking on. Bob still has a chance. He can bowl a 196, but he needs to get some strikes.
Bob's mother, Linda, is here as well as we look at his wife, Mindy, leaving a 5-pin on the left lane.
Bob from the southern region. There's 7 regions in the PBA, and the southern region has about 30 tournaments a year. That's where he got his experience, and they try to duplicate the PBA lane maintenance program, which is more demanding lane condition than you have on a league type condition, but Bob's struggling here today.
Finished 3rd in the voting for the PBA Rookie of the Year honors, won by Ricky Ward, who was on our telecast last week. And now it's Harry Sullins, 34-year-old, putting his experience on the line now, hoping for that 4th victory. He has a spare up, leading by 29, 8th frame. 3-6-8-9 again.
Well, Chris, that's the 3rd frame he had on the left-hand lane. Remember what he did last time. He threw the ball on channel and missed all of them. Let's see how he attacks it. He should pick up his blue ball and throw it straight at the 3-6. Gates up on the approach. Here's how to do it. Cut the hook down, let the ball impact the 3-6 and take out the 9. Let's see what happens to Sullins. Just barely hanging on. Sullins going at a 191 pace, has a what I would normally say a commanding 25-pin lead, but who knows today? He might throw it in the gutter, he might get 6 pins, anything can happen.
Never seen so many bowlers' heads shake in disbelief. Philip Ringener is right behind us. He's still shaking his head, wondering.
Well, somebody's got to win. That's the attitude you have to have out there. Somebody's going to win $35,000 a day. You just got to grit your teeth, toughen up, throw your Sunday ball the last 2 frames.
Ooh.
6-10.
Well, the short game comes in play for the power players. Obviously, they use their power over 6 long days of qualifying, 1 day of practice in Pro-Am to get to this position. But now they have to cut it back, make those spares, and kind of be protective. Sullins with this spare would be going at a 189 pace, would maintain a 23-pin lead with just 2 frames left. All right, if you're Bob Vespi, you've never been in championship round competition before, you're leading a tournament, you can get exempt from the Rabbit Squad in the Firestone Tournament of Champions, but you need strikes. What do? You throw it harder, put all the power you can get on it, and if it goes in the gutter, just tough luck. That's what he did, and he didn't quite get the break, but it's not over yet. Marks are no guarantee. Let's give Vespi a spare right here in the 9th. That would put him at a potential 175. That would force Sullins to get at least a decent count in the 10th frame, so it's still anybody's match.
Just joined us. Philip Ringener won the first over Chris Warren, 204 to 168. And then against Mark Bauer, 206 to 157. Sullins came in the semifinal and defeated Ringener, 193 to 170. And there is Sullins. Tournament leader has been this man, Bob Vespi.
What a shame and somewhat demoralizing, and I'm sure he's taping the show. Harry Sullins knows he's a winner now, sitting on the bench. But he can learn from this Bob Vespi. He's a good young talent. There's an experienced player. He won today, and rightly so. But he can learn by this experience, watch the tape later on, and figure out what he did wrong and change it next time. A disappointing game for Bob Vespi, but a lot of good players had disappointing games today.
That's right. He'll be a winner down the way, I'm sure. We hope so, because he's a likable young man from Plantation, Florida. From Detroit, Harry Sullins. Let's go back to New York and